Good evening, everyone. I stand here this evening a very grateful individual that there is no threat to public safety at this time. But that certainly wasn't the case at 12:48 this afternoon when our 911 call takers received several phone calls of an armed gunman who was discharging his firearm in the parking lot of the washed up car wash here in East Brandon Boulevard. Three of our deputies arrived within moments. Matter of fact, one of them, as she was arriving, her vehicle was struck with one of the rounds from our suspect. When you want to talk about the grace of God, here's another prime example. The round hit the vehicle just behind the front seat of the passenger side of her patrol car. A few inches forward, and I'd be sitting here having a much different discussion with you this afternoon. But this didn't stop her. This suspect who tried to kill her, it didn't work. Her and the other two deputies continued to charge forward towards danger, entering the back road leading up to the rear of the business and charging towards where he was. As they got a little closer to three of them, he sees them and fires several shots trying to strike them. Fired so many shots that he had to reload his gun, dropped the magazine, and reloaded his firearm. During this time, as he rearmed himself, the deputy tried by discharging his firearm to stop him, was unsuccessful, and our suspect, our bad guy, fired several more shots towards the three deputies, trying to strike them. Again, trying to kill these three deputies that were arriving on scene and trying to bring some type of resolution to this shooter. The shooter that was creating chaos in a convenience store parking lot, the car wash, and a business professional parking lot behind it, and as we all know, a very busy road. Any of these individuals traveling or walking or being employed in one of these businesses could have been a victim here today. I'm excited to announce that there's no injuries as a result of his actions today. Our suspect immediately returned after he fired those last several rounds to his vehicle, picked up the phone, and called 911, making contact with our dispatcher again. He was irate about the treatment, mental health treatment that he had recently received here at one of the local hospitals. We're extremely fortunate that we had a crisis negotiator who was inside the building, who ran upstairs to dispatch, jumped on the telephone with the individual, and started to immediately de-escalate this individual, trying everything we could to assure him that we wanted a peaceful resolution. At some point during the conversation, of this lengthy conversation, he said he wanted help. Our negotiator said, "We will get you that help that you need. You just have to exit the vehicle." He said, "I don't want to get shot." The deputy assures him, "You're not going to get shot. Get out of the vehicle without the gun, with your hands up, and you'll be taken into custody peacefully." And that's exactly how this ended here today. Everyone knows that I'm the biggest advocate when it comes to mental health treatment and getting those individuals in our community the help that you need. But that certainly, not for a fraction of a moment, justifies what this individual did here today by trying to murder three of our deputies that were doing nothing but trying to protect our community here today. I assure you this, he will now get the help that he needs. He'll get all the help that he needs, but now it will be from inside our jail. Not that we're aware of at that point. We know that he's from South Carolina. We don't believe he's been here long. We're trying to determine that now, but no records so far that we've uncovered, and that certainly could come up later on, of any type of military experience. But he did know enough and was proficient enough with a firearm of knowing that my gun's unloaded, let me reload, and continued shooting.
Sheriff, so when he got back in his car, your deputies had eyes on him at that point? crew took tactical cover around the car at that point?
Correct, along with other deputies that were arriving on scene. All took tactical cover to make sure that they were protecting everybody around the businesses. We immediately sprung into action and shut down Brandon Boulevard both ways to make sure if there was an additional gunfire, again, that no one in this community no innocent bystander in this community would be injured by it.
Were there other victims in this incident besides your deputies? Is that correct?
No, fortunately, and I don't know how to explain it, as he was discharging his firearm as indiscriminately as he was as we were getting those 911 calls. Fortunate, again, when I talk about the grace of God, neither of the 3 deputies or any of our community here today was struck by gunfire.
So it sounds like he was having a mental health episode, but do you have any idea what initiated it today?
We do not. This is the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office first contact with this individual. We have no idea why his mental state of mind was in some type of peril and some type of crisis. Hopefully we find that out, because I'd like to be the one in line trying to fix it.
Sheriff, did he make any mention of why here? Did he have any interaction with people here, or any reason for this location?
No connection whatsoever to this business that we can determine at this point. His girlfriend saw him on Facebook Live having some communication as he was walking around the parking lot talking to different customers and individuals that were here, and she's the one that informed us that he suffers from some type of mental health crisis. She didn't know exactly what, only knew that he needed he severely needed to get some help.
He apparently fired a shot at a car wash before he did.
That could be. We're working through that now. We have witnesses separated. We're doing interviews again. This is extremely preliminary. We're doing everything we can to do that, again, that secondary investigative techniques that we need to make sure that we have every detail that we need. And we'll certainly be as diligent as we can to our community out here. We know that Brandon Boulevard being shut down is an extreme inconvenience. We're working as diligently as we can, our crime scene individuals processing this, and we'll get it open as rapidly as possible.
Last question.
You preached about gun violence before, over and over and over again. It never stops, this gun violence in our community.
Well, worse yet than gun violence is someone who's suffering from some type of mental health crisis that has a firearm. And that's what we faced here today. This individual has no business having a firearm until they can get healthy. And you saw the fact that an unhealthy individual has a firearm is what we witnessed here today.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you, everyone.